So, they want me to do a video about the Lote Tree. And I say they because I don't really feel like I have any control over this completely. The other night, I just went to go to bed. Do not get on X or Twitter. It's X now, whatever. Do not get on X before you go to bed. I just wanted to share some posts and then just happened to see one. And the guy, I got nothing against him. I don't know who he is, but he's posting something crazy about the moon. I don't even know what his theory is, but he used the symbol on some of the flags for countries that are predominantly Muslim. And I know the symbol, it's a crescent with a star. So I just tried to go to sleep. And a bunch of words are going through my head and they're looking up meanings. And it's like my brain's on the internet and I can't go to sleep. Eventually I do. But so the next day I have to start looking these words up. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm researching. Like, this isn't like, oh, I want to look this up. I want to find out. I don't even know what I'm researching. I'm looking up words and I'm like, do this. So, you know, what's really happening? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like whoever they is, they want me to do a video, you know, because it led to the Lote Tree. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it is connected to lotus. So for this video, I'm going to call it the Lote Tree. Lote. So I love symbolism. I always have. It's probably the catalyst that fuels this. I mean, I'm an artist. I draw things. Symbolism is what I was brought up on. But so I got sucked in. I got sucked in. They get me. People post stuff. I don't even know what he was on about, but maybe he's on to something. But I have to address it because I know that it's not always about the symbols, it's about what they mean, what they really mean. Um, so the next day I'm looking up stuff at work and I don't know where it's headed. I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm researching. I go to lunch, I go to get some euros from this place we used to live by. I probably wouldn't go anywhere else. Let me start. Let me look at this. Hang on. So the guy had a post. I don't know what he was on about, but he was using the symbols of some of the country's flags that have a I'm going to draw backwards for the film crescent, like the moon could be, and then a star. If you don't know what it is, um, this guy was obviously saying it's the moon gobbling up a star. I don't know what he was talking about, but there are these symbols, and I want to address that first, and then I'll get into why you know why we're here. So both elements of the symbol, the crescent and the star, they've got a long history um, from the ancient Near East, and it represents either the sun and moon, which is the sun and moon, but we know what they are in the sky. or it's the moon and Venus. And I don't have a problem with any of these. I don't even care. I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. I don't care what they think it is. That's not the point. Just giving you a background, just so you know. Venus is also known as the morning star. Jesus happened to say he is the sun and the morning star. That's the last thing he ever said to anybody. Just throwing that out there. Or their divine personifications. It has been suggested that the crescent actually represents Venus or the sun during an eclipse. So it could be the sun during an eclipse, it could be the moon at its crescent, or Venus at its yearly eclipse where it appears as a crescent. Venus is also known as Al Zuhara in Arabic and is a symbol in Islamic culture that represents the position of the planet at dawn on the day the Prophet Muhammad first received revelations from God. So it is an Islamic symbol, Venus. It's a symbol in every religion and every culture of all their religions all around the world. So I'm not surprised. But so it is. It's Venus. So either one of these symbols could be Venus. Either way, um, the symbol is said to represent the position of Venus and the moon or at dawn on July 23rd, 610 AD. I don't know how people can get that accurate. I could probably do a video on that date and you know, figure out what's going on. But in Islamic astrology, Venus is often depicted as a woman, which she is in every culture, seated cross legged and playing a musical instrument, usually a lute. Cross legged. Meditation. She is known as the morning star or Zora and is often associated with a beautiful woman. Other symbols in Islam include the crescent and the star. The crescent represents progress, while the star represents illumination from the light of knowledge. Remember that. Ottoman Empire. Eight-pointed star originally changed to the 5 on certain flags. Like I said, I don't know the flag makers. I'm not in touch with the originators of the countries, but these symbols are on flags. There's an origin to them, and that's what we're getting into. I can't attest to why they ended up on a piece of fabric somewhere. But the 8-pointed star is very important. We've talked about the shoe bread, the hoarfrost, the speck of light when you do the meditation. It will show up as an 8-pointed star, whether you consciously do it. I don't know if it'll just show up on its own. I guess because I consciously did it. But there is an 8-pointed star, and then it turns into 16, and it turns into 32, and it turns into 64, and then you just have a bursting ball of fire all the time, every time you close your eyes. And I hope you get to that. I hope you get to that. But that is what the 8-pointed star originates from. It has to do with Venus. The oldest version that I'm aware of is Inanna, Inanna, Mesopotamian. She's the daughter of the moon god Sin. So now you have the moon and Venus. And it could be sun and moon, and it could be moon and the mother of heaven, Inanna, which sun and moon, female, moon, moon, and mother of heaven. It all ends up being left hemisphere and right hemisphere of the brain. So either one of those, to me, I don't care, because I'm more interested in teaching this. We can get into all the other stuff. I've got friends that can talk about it, but this is what I do. So you're going to need to see some evidence of why Inanna, a Mesopotamian goddess, is Venus, why she's connected to the eight-pointed star, and all the connections. So I found a website. It's pretty good. I couldn't say it. It's got a lot of choppy words. I don't remember. Um, if it says the guy's name, I'll say it. But this is thorough. I'll do whoever did this justice at some time. I don't know if it's on here, but it says inferential evidence for the pre-telescopic sighting of the crescent Venus. So I know ancient people had telescopes. I mean, what? Oh my God. The most ancient stories, they had telescopes, okay? But this guy's he's covering his ass right here. Pre-telescopic sighting of the crescent Venus. He's really covering his ass, which is smart. He's smart because you have to. Just like I have to show stuff, he's got to be like, okay. A few of the most important ancient goddess attributes that are connected with the planet Venus: the Babylonian Ishtar, Nana, Inanna, Nina, Anuit, Easter. It's the counterpart of the Phoenician Astarte. The great mother goddess is portrayed as both life giving and as life taking. She passes through 7 gates to the underworld, and at each gate, some of her clothing and adornments were removed until the last gate, she is entirely naked, like in the garden. While she remains in the netherworld, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, is hard to say. All fertility ceases on earth. The earth is your body, the field. But the time comes when she again returns to earth. As she passes each gate, the watchman again restores to her what she had left there. They're talking about the 7 chakras. She's going back upward, because you have the mother goddess and the female principle in there. They fall, they rise, they fall, they rise, they're connected. Annually, the planet Venus disappears from one horizon and after an interval reappears on the opposite. The connection with the horned Ishtar is inescapable. Let me tell you something about the sine wave and the rise and fall of planets and the sun and the moon. Every phase, every section, every phase that they've attributed a section to, an apex to, or whatever, a crossing to, they've given it a different personality, a different attribute. And way too much here to get into that now. I'm just telling you, like, what it's talking about is the reason, almost the reason it changed names is because it's a different area in the sine wave. Oh, this is interesting. On monuments and seal cylinders, she appears frequently with bow and arrow. Compare Athena and Diana, those simply clad in long robes with a crown on her head and an eight-rayed star as her symbol. There's the symbol. There's the eight-rayed star that became the five-pointed star. This is all from this guy's website. I'll find a way to give him credit. I did some research and here I am. This is probably it. David Lance Goins Berkeley, Berkeley, as they say, California, 1992. Maybe it's Berkeley. Just see what he said. The votaries of Ishtar were in all cases virgins who, so long as they remained in her service, were not permitted to marry. This tradition is found also among the Roman Vestal virgins and is recapitulated in the celibacy of Catholic priests and nuns instituted in 305 AD by the Spanish Synod of Elvira. Astaroth is the female counterpart of the sun god Baal, Baal, worshipped by the Canaanites and Phoenicians and to the Dagon of the Philistines. Her worship fused with that of Aphrodite, Artemis, Diana, Juno, and Venus. Her star was the planet Venus. So, a lot of different names here. Oh, I know these things will come up, so, I'm just showing through this guy's work, which I could have done, but on a time crunch, had to do some research at work and then get this to you. And I have done this research. I just have to go scope it up, sprinkle it on a page, and get it to you. I know this stuff. Like I said, when I got to the point where I'm at the Euro place and I get a message, look up the word star in the Quran. I've read the Quran several times. I used to read it at Christmas when in my late teens. That's when I started. And it's one of the most beautiful books ever written. I mean, poetry at 600 AD outside of the Vatican's watch. There's nothing else. I mean, tomorrow I'll go look for more poetry from that time period, but it's fucking beautiful. Um, wow. But I was told or compelled or whatever word you want to use to look up star, search the Quran, and I found some stuff. And that's what led me here. I discovered something, and we're we're on that road. Um, where were we? Venus. The Egyptian Isis wore the horns of a cow, and the cow was sacred to her. Her cult was the most persistent in maintaining itself against Christianity, with which it had a great deal in common, both in the doctrine and in emblems. Her worship declined after 307 AD. I don't know how they're jumping 2 years here, but we'll talk about dates another time. Though it persisted in Italy until the 5th century, which would be 400s, give or take. Her last remaining shrine at Pile, was closed in the middle of the 6th century. That's sad. I mean, these are the same. Isis is the same symbol, which what you'll see for if I keep reading, but it's sad. It's sad that languages change and then they just have to fuck that bitch. We call her this now. What? It's the same. It's the same female principle. Anyway, it goes on to Roman Isis. This looks like a lot more videos. It's a lot. This is a lot. I'll keep it. That connects with Venus, though. Rome, Mexico. Though etymologically suspect. It is interesting that Saint Jerome, he comes back again, suggests that the origin of the Hebrew name Mary was Stella Maris, star of the sea. This early association of the Virgin not only with the morning star, but with foam-born deities. They're speaking of Aphrodite. Aphrodite is foam-born, such as the Greek Aphrodite and Roman Venus, tends to confirm the carryover of surviving pagan religion. What carryover or surviving pagan religious practices bled over to the Americas before the Spanish arrived? That's a whole nother conversation. Like conventional history, let's just go down that road. This early association of the Virgin Mary, not only with the morning star, but with foam-born deities such as the Greek Aphrodite and Roman Venus, tends to confer the carryover of surviving pagan religious practice. What carryover? If you have Christopher Columbus and then the Spanish come over, what pagans are they talking about that showed up? The carryover to reach Mexico, the ancient Americas. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but we're told that didn't happen. So it's almost like they're admitting something here. I understand this is a guy, he wrote this, but you know, he saved his ass before. He's not gonna throw fucking snowballs here. By the way, I mean, I don't even need evidence. Mary is a symbol. Mary represents the mother goddess. He understands this here. He's trying to tell you something, and I'm trying to tell you something. It's just Mary, Queen of Heaven, the appellation Mother of God. An epithet formerly connected with the great nature god. See, this guy knows his shit. It was not applied to Mary before the close of the 3rd century, though by the 4th century it had become commonplace. This metamorphosis of Ishtar, Isis, Artemis, etc., into the character of Mary coincides neatly with the ideological vacuum created by the triumph of the pale Galilean. Indeed, I would argue that at this juncture, the church fathers, and in particular, Saint Jerome, were all but consciously incorporating the pagan female deities into the person of Mary, the better to accommodate many of those who became professing God. I can't even read that. There is no after idea that was the idea of Christianity. It is what it was. What they're saying, oh, Mary might be attributed, but no. All this stuff taught up till 2,000 years ago moves forward with the same meaning. You just have councils and meetings of people saying, no, it needs to mean something else, or we can't control these people. It's still the same meaning. And I will do video after video after video after video until I show you. We're really getting sidebarred here. Really weaving here. Isis, egg of Isis, minaret. Venus is the mother goddess represented down here. The mother goddess is always out. It's a real force. It's your right brain. Your right brain is female. Root chakra sacrum, Venus. There's a reason it's here. We'll get to that. 3rd chakra. I didn't understand the words I was looking up that day at work. So I just abandoned course. I'm like, maybe that's something else another time. Like I said, I went to get euros. I looked up star in the Quran. And in Surah on Nam Najm, I do not know how to pronounce it. I do have several friends at work that could help me. I did not ask them yet. It says it means the star. It's Surah. I don't know if it's 53 or page 53. I don't know. By the star when it goes down or vanishes, your companion, Muhammad, has neither gone astray nor has erred. The star is lowered. You have not gone astray or have erred. Nor does he speak of his own desire. It is only an inspiration that is inspired. He has been taught by one mighty in power, Gabriel, Dumera, free from any defect in body and mind, Fastawa. Then he, Gabriel, rose and became stable. While he, Gabriel, was in the highest part of the horizon. Then he, Gabriel, approached and came closer and was at a distance of 2 bows' length or even nearer. So, You want to do bows. I don't think it's that. What I researched was it's your forearm. Bows. You draw bows on them. Two bows or less, depending on depending on how you're formed by your mother and father. Distance of two bows length or even nearer, less. Two forearms length. Um, bow. Oh, this is also the bow. So two bows length or less. You're still, come on, you're in the realm at least. But that is the bow. This is the bow. It's also the curve of the anchor, the anchor, which I have videos ready for. This is the anchor. The Popeye. We'll do Popeye, but this is the anchor. This is the bow of the anchor. This is the bow because it's a bowl. It's also the horns of the bowl, the bowels, the belly. There's it all has to do with this. So here's your crescent, the bull horns, the crescent. Turn the flag, turn me sideways, turn the flag sideways. But the bull, in fact, in Mesopotamia with Inanna, it was originally drawn vertically where it had the crescent and then the eight-pointed star, which is where Venus is. Inanna, her symbol. So there's a tree called the Lote Tree. Near Sidrat al-Muntaha, Lote Tree of the utmost boundary, beyond which none can pass, not alive anyway. Near it is the paradise of abode. When that covered the Lote Tree, which did cover it, the sight of Prophet Muhammad turned not aside, right or left, nor it transgressed beyond the limit ordained for it. Indeed, he, Muhammad, did see the greatest signs of his Lord Allah. The Sidrat al-Muntaha, Lote Tree of the farthest boundary. This is the farthest boundary, the crown chakra, the seventh heaven. It's the farthest you can go without leaving. I mean, you might come back, but in Islamic theology, this is a large lota or cedar tree, S-I-D-R, Ziziphus spina Christi, that marks the utmost boundary in the seventh heaven where the knowledge of the angels ends. The angels end. During the Muhammad's physical journey from Masjid al-Haram to al-Aqsa, which would be from Mecca to Medina, back to Mecca, the ascension towards the heavens, and eventually meeting God. Muhammad is said to have traveled with the angel Gabriel to the tree where Gabriel stopped While beyond the tree, God instructed Muhammad about the Salah, the 5 daily prayers, because when you go past the tree, the last video, you go home, you receive back. What did he receive? The Salah, the 5 daily prayers. I've got some more surahs here. I'll look at them later. I don't. The Lote Tree of the furthest boundary is also used to refer to the manifestation of God several times in Baha'i literature. The Lote Tree is used as a symbol, for example, by the Qatar Foundation, the cedar tree growing strong and proud in the harshest of environments has been a symbol of perseverance and nourishment across the borders of the Arab world. What is the significance of this glorious tree? Oh, I'm way past that guy's website, by the way. I'll give him glory. With its roots bound in the soil of this world and its branches reaching upwards toward perfection, which is every tree. It is a symbol of solidarity and determination. It reminds us that the goals of this world are not incompatible with the goals of the spirit. The evergreen tree Sisyphus spina Christi represents this symbol in natural form, it says. Okay, so there's something other than a natural form, like a symbolic one. So you have the crescent and the star. Those are the symbols. Crescent, 14th century, late 14th century crescent. Crescent-shaped ornament from Anglo-French croissant, from Old French croissant, croissant. Crescent of the moon, there's your moon, 12th century, from Latin crescentum, nominative crescents, present participle of crescere, come forth, spring up, grow, thrive, swell, increase in numbers of strength. From PIE, which is Proto Indo European root, KER, to grow. So we don't even know what the word meant, what it meant, and then what it meant, and what it, to grow. Crescent. The crescent. Where can it go from here? It can grow to the star, the 8-pointed star, the Venus, the temptation, the third chakra, and then up. Sisyphus with Z's. It's Greek, but it's something we named a tree after. So, in Greek mythology, Sisyphus or Sisyphos, ancient Greek, was the founder and king of Ephyra, Ephyra. Without getting into it, the whole Sisyphus story has to do with meditation. Ephyra is the name of a water nymph, daughter of the Titans Oceanus and Tethys. If you don't know what nymphs are, go back and watch. It's Wakey Time 1, Introduction. Sidra, S-I-D-R-A, Arabic, is a given name of Latin origin, meaning goddess of the stars. Venus is the goddess of the stars, or like a star. Venus, pretty much like a star. I mean, we're not playing fucking pencils here with fucking breakdancing moves on it for a quarter. The name Sidra is also an Islamic name short for Sidrat al Muntaha, a holy tree at the end of the seventh heaven. Hang on, there might be more on this piece of paper. In Arabic speaking regions, the jujube and alternatively the species Z. ziziphus Lote Tree are closely related to the Lote trees, which are mentioned in the Quran. Oh, while in Palestine, the species Z. ziziphus spina Christi is also called Sidr. Sidr. An ancient jujube tree in the city Al Korna, Iraq, is claimed by locals as the tree of knowledge mentioned in the Bible. El Karna. Local tradition holds that the place where the city was mentioned in the Bible was the original site of the Garden of Eden. The jujube tree is important in Hinduism too, as Vishnu is worshipped in a major temple in Badrinath, from the Sanskrit compound Badarinatha, consisting of the terms Badarite, jujube tree, and Natha, Lord, an epithet of Vishnu. Also see date palm, Phoenix dactylifera. I don't know if you know much about Vishnu talking to God, or the phoenix or the fornix of the brain. But this is getting deep. This is more than I can even fucking talk about right now. Let me see. Dates are good. They're all over the world. Dates are mentioned more than 50 times in the Bible, 20 times in the Quran. Let's go find all that times. That's interesting that that's 70 and it means 7. Which means divine intervention, which I feel like that's who's intervening now. All these trees are good. All these trees are used for like everything you can think of, from like cures to food to everything. And there's a mystical essence to them all. It's talking about the Jews and honey. Oh my God, I got a lot of notes here, which I'll learn and we'll get to, but it wasn't connected to the Virgin Mary. In the Quran, Allah instructs marrying the Virgin Mary to eat dates during labor pains when she gives birth to Jesus. In Mandaism, the date palm, Mandaic, Sindirka, Seder, SDIR, Sindirka, which can refer to both the tree and its fruit, symbolizes the cosmic tree and is often associated with the cosmic wellspring. Interesting. interesting that it all connects and it all comes around. Oh, I do a lot more notes than I need to use right now. That's how our bodies work too. We actually produce a lot more than we need, and it gets rid of stuff we don't need right now. In Israel, the Ziziphus spina Christi, the Lote tree is. I'm pronouncing that wrong on purpose. I'm trying to make a point. It's called Capernaum. Capernaum means village of comfort. Village of comfort, Matthew 11:23, and thou Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven, because it is very close, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. Sodom is your left brain. And if you would have made your left brain a village of comfort, it would have been remained to this day. But when you do the meditation and all the electrical energy goes to the right side and this is destroyed, Sodom is destroyed. Matthew 4:13, and leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt into Capernaum, the village of comfort, which is upon the sea coast, in the borders of Zabulon and Nephthalim. Oh, there's so much more. So I mentioned they wanted me to mention the Lote Tree. The Lote Tree. Everything in Quran about the Lote Tree is the same. It's the tree of knowledge. It's the tree of life. It's this tree that we're not supposed to touch. According to who? I'll have to watch this video a few times. I hope I made the connection, but I'm just following a formula at this point. This stuff comes in, I take the notes, I turn the camera on. Something I've realized since all this happened is that everything is just drugs. I mentioned in one of my short videos about we're just all trying to make ourselves feel better all the time. But they try to put, okay, these are drugs over here. These are the list of drugs. This stuff will let you take. Everything over here is just whatever. No, it's all drugs. What do you want for dinner? It's not. Tell me the analysis of what nutrition you haven't gotten yet today that you need, and we'll give that to you. No, it's what do you want for dinner? What would you like to have for dinner tomorrow night? That's all drugs. You want to watch a movie? How does it make you feel? Everything's all drugs. In the definition, essence of the word, I mean, everything is just what's going to make me feel better now. If it's not, fuck it, I'll go to sleep. But you know what? Sleep's gonna make you feel better. It's all chemicals. My friend Brad told me 25 years ago, it's all chemicals. Actually, it hasn't been that long. It's been 21. Yeah. It's all chemicals. That's what he told me. It's all brain chemistry. And he's right. I've come to this conclusion many times, but not like I have recently. It's all about drugs. Um, I was gonna do Yasin, but I'm pretty drugged out for the day, to use the term. Um, Yasin, there's a Turkish recitation that I listen to all the time. It's fucking beautiful. The Quran is beautiful. When it's spoke, it's sung. They don't say sung. They don't want it to be music, but it's sung. It's beautiful. It's just fucking Yasin. Yasin. I want to tell you what it says. I'm going to save it. Um, I think it deserves more than the end of a video. It involves three messengers, and I'm sure there's a literal traditional explanation for them, but I can explain what they are also. As above, so below. But for now, this is its wakey time. The Lote Tree. It's wakey time 5. It is the fifth full length video, whatever that is. It's wakey time 5, the Lote Tree. And I've been thinking about it for 2.5, 3 days now, and that's enough. Um, take care, take care, take care, everybody. Anyone who watches this, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for your time.